aim of this case study is to show how mediation can be used to resolve disputes. For beginners in mediation, the issues that trigger the dispute can be monetary. However, as effort is made to resolve them, many other problems that may or may not be related to the triggering issue can come up. Mediators help in sorting out all such issues as well, or as many as they can. Mediation also gives a chance for ventilation of emotions, which sometimes are the triggers of the problems. In these ways, there is improvement in communication and building of relationships. These are the strengths of mediation vis-a-vis other methods for resolving disputes like courts, arbitration, and so on. COVID has affected all of us, each in a different way. This is a case of two sets of parents who are not able to pay school fees for their school going children because of problems due to the pandemic and how they approach the principal of the school for fee waiver. The principal in turn must report to the management and take care of the students too. There are two parties to this dispute. Party A represented by the school principal Mrs. Acharya and Party B consisting of parents represented by Chitra Govind and Kalyani Muthupandi. Each has a story to tell, which we get to know as mediation progresses. How is the case going to be resolved? What are the issues? And how will the mediators go about it all? Chitra Govind is a parent who has two children studying in class 8 and 10. Her husband is an auto driver. With pandemic there is loss of business and inability to pay the school fees. Kalyani Muthupandi has a daughter Meenakshi studying in class 12. Meenakshi is a topper and an IAS aspirant. They run a hotel but business is poor. Many other problems come up because of lockdown. They are not able to pay the school fee and are asking for fee waiver. Mrs. Acharya is the school principal and is unrelenting to the requests of the parents. She has her own reasons. She must balance the pressure of running the school and the demands of the parents. She requests the assistance of mediators to resolve the issues. Mrs. Rai and Shweta Manjunath are the co-mediators. Co-mediators divide their responsibilities and have different skill sets. They complement one another and require practice in mediating together. Let us now watch the enactment of a real-life mediation in a school setting in the times of COVID.
Yeah. Good evening, Shweta and Mr. Rai. Yeah, good to see you because I'm in a bit of a fix now. You've known me. I mean, you know me, and I think many of you all know me. I'm Mrs. Acharya, and I'm representing my school. Okay, so I mean, it's a well-known school. Everybody knows about our school. We are, the kind of our students are the topmost. We always have a good result, extremely good results, and there are a lot of people, wanting to join our school, and they've come up. Some batches have come up very well in our school, and they're doing very well in the society. We may ensure that our children, get that kind of grooming in our school so that they do well for the society and the family and the. So, and we have, and our owners, Mr. and Mrs. Shastri, they have an extremely good reputation. So they have always been, for the inclusiveness of all kinds of students. And we have included students with, lower economic backgrounds, so that they also, like, have the right for good education. And we provide everybody same facilities. There's no difference in, their access for our facilities. We have extremely good sports, this thing, and our teachers are so well, like, they are extremely good. And given this pandemic situation, they have really come up, and they are kind of created such good content for the students to be taught online. And yeah, pandemic has caused a lot of issues for everyone. And even earlier there were issues, and I have been meeting the parents and trying to sort out, because after all, education is a right for all children. And so we have tried, but pandemic has created a lot of issues for everybody, including us. So now when the parents approach us with reduction of fees or non-payment of fees, some of them totally outright they say we will not pay the fee. That's not done. I mean, school cannot run without the fees. We need the money to run the entire system. So I don't know. I mean, I have tried to talk to them, explain to them, but they're not understanding the issues that we face as a school. That I have to pay the salaries to the teachers, the staff, the ground people, and we have so many extracurricular activities. In spite of the lockdown, we are having all those extracurricular activities, and we had to change our infrastructure a bit to accommodate all this online teaching that has been introduced now for everyone. So I feel bad, but I just can't help them. So I just thought I'll approach you too and try to make them understand that, we can't, beyond the point, we cannot reduce the fees. It's not possible. They have to pay the fees. I'm sorry.
Okay. Would you like to go first, Mr. Rai?
Yeah, you can go first, and then I'll contribute if it's required.
Okay, so from what you said, Mrs. Acharya, you have got a good reputation. Mr. and Mrs. Shastri, the owners of your school, of course, are well known, and they have upheld the reputation of the school. And yes, parents are now requesting you for non-payment of fees or partial payment of fees. Am I right?
Yes. We have accommodated quite a few parents to give it in installments also, but unfortunately we cannot reduce beyond a point. Everybody must take into consideration a school doesn't work in air. We need the money to, give that kind of a facility to our students, which is our responsibility as a school, principal especially. So I need to provide the facilities to my students.
Okay, so from what I understand, you're trying within your limited means to provide the best possible facilities for your children.
Yes.
And you're not able to, you're unable at the moment to reduce the fees.
Yes.
Yes, I understand.
Beyond, we have already reduced a bit. Beyond that, it's just not possible.
So could I please know how much you've reduced as of now?
About 10,000 we have reduced this year.
In
but
percentage?
Beyond that, it's
please, Mrs. Acharya, in percentage, please.
Sorry?
In percentage, please.
It's a flat 10,000, all over.
Annual fee or term?
Yes, annual fee.
And what is the annual amount?
It's between 30 to 50,000 per annum. 30 to 45, I think. So we have reduced it by 10,000. So maximum now that any child pays is 35, not more than that.
Okay, so for all age groups, it's the same from class?
No. We have different slabs fee structure. The primaries pay different, the middle school and the high school is different. So and the parents are well aware of it, it's not that we have suddenly done something increase and then reduced. No, we don't do that kind of a thing. We are very clear in this thing. We announced the beginning of the year, this is going to be the fees and it has to be paid in so and so date. and whatever we have told we will provide, we have provided to the parents. So I mean, there is no two ways about it.
Okay, so what I also understood from what you said earlier is that your outgoings are mostly towards salaries paid to your staff.
No, there are a lot of things, running a school is the bills. There are so many bills. I mean, I can tell you a number of things for which the money is required. So it's an establishment, and we've been running it for now 15 years. 15. So yeah, we need the money to, nobody else is reduced. We have to pay the electricity bill. We have to pay the water bill. It's not, I mean, nobody gives concession, the government. In fact, we have to pay more taxes because they have increased the taxes now. So I mean, we are finding it very difficult to, help parents with reduction in fees.
So,
Done our best.
Mrs. Acharya, could you please give us a list of your actual outgoing expenses, including your electricity, if there is any kind of building rent, anything like that? If you could please.
I can provide you all that. But first, I mean, if it is going to be useful to you, I can provide the list. But first, you find out why is it that they are not able to pay. There are parents paying. Yes, and you can check with them. We have not discounted them on any of the issues in terms of education and the facilities. I mean, it's not like if it was an income tax and audit, I can give you my entire list. But I've just come for mediation. So I don't see any reason for me to give you my, my bill details or my other details. But yeah, I can give you a rough idea how it works.
Yes, just a rough idea will do, Mrs. Acharya. Just for us to also understand from our parents' point of view, what is their challenge that they are facing.
Sure.
And the other thing that you said was that you had also now understand that your teachers had put in a lot of extra effort to give new academic support for the students, because it's now going online. And that means you said there are extra expenses involved. If you could perhaps give us some idea.
We had to take extra workshops for them, Online teaching is not the same as classroom teaching. So most of our teachers are not trained in that, except for the computer department teachers who are, are computer savvy. Other teachers are not so computer savvy. Like, they can probably show you something on the computer and, help the student in that sense. But to actually do the recording, to actually prepare some material for the children, it all, it is all this thing from our side. Training, we gave free training for all our teachers so that the students don't suffer. Ultimately, it's how the teacher teaches the subject. So thinking of our students, we've trained our teachers, and it is not a small thing. We had to call somebody, and every minute detail, including the examples, how the homework, all that we had to prepare for each and every subject from class 1 to class 12. So it's a big thing, and and it all requires time and effort and money. So
but what I want
and we are providing the same this thing to all students. There is no discrimination in those terms. So the money, we have to collect the money in terms of fees.
Yes, 1 minute, Mrs. Acharya. Sorry for interrupting you, but two things I wanted clarity. One is, how are the students managing for online classes? Do they have some kind of device that your school has provided? Secondly, I also wanted to know whether you're paying your teachers, all your staff, the full salary that they were being paid earlier. This is two things I want clarity.
I would love to pay them the full fee, full salary. Okay. I have taken a pay cut. Even my owners, they have actually decided not to take anything for this pandemic year. And we are giving the best possible to our teachers, school staff, and our akkas. They're so nice, but we had to let go of some of them because of all this, fees structure. And last year we were not supposed to take much fees. This year now again, people are talking about reduction in fees or non-payment of fees. It's just not possible. And yes, we have given for some deserving students, who came to us saying that we cannot purchase a phone or kind of a thing. We have helped them in whatever we had given our this thing. Some students we have helped, but not all. Definitely, we could not help everybody. So yes, it is a stress for parents also. They need to, find ways of getting a smartphone or a small tablet or yes, some parents had to struggle, but we did how much we could do. So, and we even asked if some students can come to the class because the teacher is there in the class. They can come to the class and attend. But then lockdown, and many parents are not willing to send the students to school. So,
Mr. Rai, would you like to ask some questions?
Yes, I just want some clarification. So you are also, from what you're saying, I hear you saying that you're also under a lot of pressure to maintain the same quality of education and the standards. You
yes.
mentioned you have a good standard that you have maintained and you've had a lot of toppers and stuff. So you are under pressure to maintain that also.
Yes.
In the middle of all
because,
this.
Because of the pandemic, lot of changes have happened. So how do you grade the students? So we had to come up with, new ways of grading the students. And we had to, last year, we promoted everybody. We did not detain any student. And as per the government orders, we are giving 10th and 12th students, whatever the government has decided, we are doing as per the government rules for the students, and still trying to, make them get better grades from whatever we can do as school from our side. So, yes, we are very proud of our students. They are very good achievers, and yes, we are very proud of our students. They've done very well.
Thank you, Mrs. Acharya. That was you've given us some clarity on your side of what you're saying. We would like to hear from the parents also, if that's okay with you, Swati.
Mr. Rai, we can meet Mrs. Acharya another day when we can meet all of them together. So today, let's now, maybe tomorrow we can meet the parents. And for now, Mrs. Acharya, we'll take leave of you.
Okay.
Thank you, Mrs. Acharya.
Yeah. Bye.
Okay. So welcome, Mrs. Chitra Govind. Welcome, Mrs. Kalyani Muthupandi. How can we help you?
Kalyani, would you like to talk first?
No, I think you go first.
Okay. Now, I'm a parent and two of my children are studying in the same school. My name is Chitra and my husband is a driver. He's a self-employed driver, which means he drives other people's cars, and based on the hourly basis, he gets paid. But conducting the way he always has a rapport with our clients, everybody calls him, and he has been so busy. We had no issues as such because we are living in the heart of the city. We have to pay the rental, and we have taken a place very near the school. So commuting is not a problem at all. But my elder child is in 9th and the second one is in 8th. During the pandemic, when the lockdown started, when everybody was staying put at home, nobody was calling my husband for anything. And I'm not working, I'm just a homemaker. So when there is no income and we have very little savings, even to pay the rental, we were finding it very difficult. So finally, we had to move from the city to the outskirts. And when we asked back for the advance, the landlord refused to give the advance, saying that when the next person comes, only he will be in a position to return back the money. So we had to borrow money. And later on, when it came to make the payment of fees, we really had no idea what to do. Again, I had to ask my clients, can you please help me? Can you please help me? So different people had to pitch in to make me pay at least half the amount. But then even day-to-day expenses was a big issue. So finally, I decided, let me start cooking some dishes and offering it to people who would come home and take delivery. So I was just trying to make little money out of the cooking part of it. But now that the lockdown is over, now back to work, and my husband is again busy. So when he's working, there is no issues. But the time when nobody is calling him, that is when we found that the fee structure was not something that we can make the payment unless other people are pitching in, and we have to return back the money also. So that was a big issue at that time.
Okay.
May I, Shweta?
Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah. So So the last part of what you said is what I needed some clarity on, but I will just try to paraphrase what you said. So what you're saying is your husband was a self-employed driver and he had a lot of business before the pandemic. So you didn't have problems with either your rentals or your school fees. No. Everything was going well.
Yes.
And once the pandemic started and he stopped having business, then you had, you did not get your rental advance back. You had to move into a smaller place. Then you started working and everything. So you also said the clients have started coming again, and now again he's got very good business. Okay. So what does, how does that last part match up? Because the school is asking you for your fees.
No, little by little.
Is it? Yes.
Little by little, we are adding on to whatever we have already borrowed from people, and given a little more time, we will be able to make the payment of the fees. We just need a little more time.
So, given a little more time, can we put that down on record? That given a little more time, you can pay your fees.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much, Ms. Chitra.
And if I may ask one question, please, Mr. Rai. Mrs. Chitra, how you said that you will pay within some amount of time. Do you have any idea what that time frame would be?
If there is no lockdown, then maybe within another 2 months.
2 months extension you need for your fees.
Yes.
And what is the last amount that you paid for 1 term, 2 terms?
No, we have paid, out of the annual fee, we have paid half of it.
Half. And so the remaining half is what the school requires.
Yes.
But is the school collecting the fees in advance for one complete year, or is it term wise?
Yeah, we make the payment in advance.
Oh, so you pay for the entire year?
Yeah, because a lot of issues will keep coming in, so it's better to make the payment. Because when we have the money, another issue might come up. So always we are in the habit of making the annual payment at one go.
Yes, understand. Okay, so thank you. So you want just another 2 months at the most?
Yeah, that will really help us. Yes.
Right, thank you. And yes, Mrs. Kalyani, would you like to talk now?
Yeah. வணக்கம் மேடம், நான் கல்யாணி முத்துப்பாண்டி பேசுறேன். எனக்கு இங்கிலீஷ் அவ்வளோ வராது, கொஞ்சம் லிட்டில் வரும். நானும் எங்க ஹஸ்பண்டும் வந்து மதுரையில இருந்து இங்க சென்னைக்கு வந்தோம். பசங்களை பொண்ணை படிக்க வைக்கணும்னு வந்தோம். நல்ல எஜுகேஷன் கொடுக்கணும், நல்லா படிக்க வைக்கணும் தான் வந்தோம். இந்த ஸ்கூல்ல சேர்த்தோம். அந்த ஸ்கூல்ல ஷீ ஸ்டடிங் வெரி வெல் மேடம், ரொம்ப நல்லா ஷீ ஸ்டடிங், வெரி பிரைட் ஸ்டூடெண்ட். படிப்புல ஃபர்ஸ்ட், எல்லா கிளாஸ்ல எல்லாத்துலயுமே அவ ஃபர்ஸ்ட் வந்துருவா. வெரி பிரைட் ஸ்டூடெண்ட், நிறைய மெடல், லாட் ஆஃப் மெடல், நிறைய சர்டிபிகேட் எல்லாமே வாங்கியிருக்கா. ஸோ அது வந்து ஸ்கூல்ல அவளை நிறைய இடத்துல வந்து அவளை ப்ரேஸ் பண்ணிருக்கு, நல்லா இருக்குன்னு சொல்லியிருக்காங்க. பட் இப்போ வந்து இந்த கொரோனா டைம்ல வந்து நாங்க ஒரு சின்ன ஹோட்டல் நடத்திட்டு இருக்கோம். நல்லா போச்சு, நல்லா வந்தது. பட் இப்படி இப்போ வந்து வரல. இப்போ ஃபர்ஸ்ட் லாக்டவுன் அப்போ எல்லாரும் போயிட்டாங்க வேலை பண்ண. ஆல் ஆஃப் தெம் லெஃப்ட், எல்லாம் கான் டு ஹோம் டவுன் போயிட்டாங்க. திருப்பி இப்போ லாக்டவுன் முடிஞ்சு கொஞ்சம் வருது. வர்றப்போ திருப்பி இப்போ லாக்டவுன். ஸோ இப்போ நாங்க வந்து ஹோட்டலை வந்து ரொம்ப நடத்த முடியாத ஸ்டேஜுக்கு வந்துட்டோம். ஃபைண்டிங் வெரி டிஃபிகல்ட், ரொம்ப கஷ்டமா இருக்கு. இதுல எங்க ஃபாதர் இன் லா he fell sick, went to the hospital, got COVID, passed away. Huge money borrowed, debt ஆயிடுச்சு, கடன் ஆயிடுச்சு, not able to pay back. இப்போ மீனாட்சி வந்து 12th படிக்கிறா. நாங்க இவ்வளோ வரைக்கும் எதுவுமே கேட்டதில்லை, இது வரைக்கும் ஃபீஸ் ஃபுல்லா பே பண்ணிருக்கோம். ஜஸ்ட் வேர் இப்போ கேட்கறது என்னன்னா, இந்த வருஷம் மட்டும் ஃபீஸ் இல்லாம 12th படிக்கிற இந்த லாஸ்ட் இயர் கொஞ்சம் நீங்க ஃபீஸ் தள்ளி கொடுங்க எங்களுக்கு. பிரைட் ஸ்டூடெண்ட், நல்ல பிரைட் ஸ்டூடெண்ட், நாளைக்கு ஸ்டேட் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் வந்து அவங்க ஸ்கூலுக்கு தான் வரும். அப்போ என் ஃப்ரெண்டோடைய எங்க ஹஸ்பண்டோடைய ஃப்ரெண்டு சொன்னார், அவர் அட்வொகேட், அவர் சொன்னாரு இந்த மாதிரி ஏதோ இருக்காமே, ஆர்டிஇ இதெல்லாம் இருக்கான், அதுல கேளுங்க, அதுல உங்க பொண்ணுக்கு வந்து அவங்க ஃபுல்லா ஃபீஸ் தள்ளுபடி பண்ணலான்னாங்க. ஸோ தட் இஸ் வை நான் வந்து இங்க பிரின்சிபல் மேடத்தை கேட்டேன், மேடம் ப்ளீஸ் ஏதாவது பண்ணி கொடுங்க, ஒரு பொண்ணு தான் எனக்கு, இன்னும் ஒரே ஒரு குழந்தை தான். இது கொஞ்சம் எனக்கு ஏதாவது ஹெல்ப் பண்ணுங்கன்னு கேட்டிருக்கேன் நான் மேடம் கிட்ட. மேடம் இது வரைக்குமே எல்லா பேரண்ட்ஸ்க்கும் ஹெல்ப் பண்ணிருக்காங்க. ரொம்ப தேங்க்ஸ். மேடத்தினால தான் என் பொண்ணு இவ்வளவு தூரம் படிச்சு இவ்வளவு தூரம் வந்திருக்கு. பட் இந்த ஒரு ஹெல்ப் பண்ணாங்கன்னா கொஞ்சம் ரொம்ப 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 தேங்க்ஃபுல்லா இருக்கும், ரொம்ப நன்றியா இருக்கும். ரொம்ப அது மட்டும்தான் எங்களுடைய ரிக்வெஸ்ட் மேடம்.
அப்படியா? சரி சரி. அப்போ நீங்க இப்போ சொல்றீங்கன்னா நீங்க ஹோட்டல் நடத்தல இப்போ இல்லையா?
இல்ல மேடம், ஹோட்டல் நடத்துறோம். பட் அத எங்களுக்கு அந்த ஏதோ போன்ல எல்லாம் புக் பண்ணி வாங்குறாங்க. அதெல்லாம் எனக்கும் எங்க வீட்டுக்காருக்கும் தெரியாது. சோ வர்றவங்களுக்கு பார்சல் கொடுக்குறோம். அந்த போன்ல ஏதோ பண்றாங்க, கொண்டு போறாங்க, அது எங்களுக்கு தெரியாது மேடம். அதனால நாங்க ஹோட்டல் ஏதோ நடக்குது, நான் வாங்குறவங்க மட்டும்தான், மத்தபடி பெருசா நடக்கல. சோ நாங்க சம்பளமும் கொடுக்க முடியல, நானும் எங்க வீட்டுக்காரரே சமைக்கிறோம். சோ அதனால வருமானம் இல்லை எங்களுக்கு, இன்கம் இல்லை.
அப்படியா? உங்க பொண்ணு பேர் மீனாட்சி தானே?
மீனாட்சி. மீனாட்சி.
அப்போ மீனாட்சி எப்படி படிக்கிறா ஸ்கூல்ல? போன் ஏதாவது வச்சிருக்காளா?
மீனாட்சி நாங்க ஒரு போன் தான் நாங்க எல்லாருமே யூஸ் பண்றது. ஒரே ஒரு போன் வச்சிருக்காங்க, அவங்க அப்பா போன் அது. சோ நாங்க எங்களுக்கு போன் தேவையில்லை மேடம், அவங்களுக்கு கொடுத்துருவோம். அவ படிக்கிற டைம்ல அவ அதுல படிப்பா. அப்புறமா அவளுக்கு முடிச்ச டைம்ல அவங்க அப்பாவுக்கு கொடுப்பா. அந்தந்த போன்லாம் நம்மளால வாங்க முடியாது மேடம், அது ஏதோ வருது, அதெல்லாம் நமக்கு வாங்க முடியாது, நமக்கு யூஸ் பண்ண தெரியாது. சோ ஒரு போன், அந்த போன்ல அவ படிச்சுப்பா. அவ நல்லா படிப்பா மேடம், நல்லா படிப்பா, சூப்பரா படிப்பா. ரொம்ப இன்டெலிஜென்ட் பொண்ணு, ரொம்ப ரொம்ப இன்டெலிஜென்ட் பொண்ணு.
அப்படியா? அப்போ இன்னொரு போன் தேவைன்னு சொல்றீங்க நீங்க உங்களுக்கு?
வேண்டாம் மேடம், அதெல்லாம் கூட வேண்டாம் எங்களுக்கு. எங்களுக்கு இந்த ஃபீஸை மட்டும் தள்ளுபடி பண்ணி கொடுத்தா போதும், அது மட்டும் போதும். ஏன்னா இந்த வருஷம் அவ பாஸ் ஆயிட்டு நல்லா மார்க் வாங்கிட்டானா அப்புறமா அவ பாத்துப்பா, அவ படிச்சுப்பா. அது ஒண்ணும் இதுவா இருக்காது. அவளுக்கு எங்கேயாவது உதவி கிடைக்கும், படிச்சிடுவா.
அதுல பிரச்சனை இல்லையே இப்போ. மிஸ்டர் ராய், you want to say something?
Yeah, yes. When you say தள்ளுபடி, you mean a reduction or you mean a
total waiver?
Total waiver தான் கேக்குறீங்க நீங்க. Okay. Yes, please, Ms. Swati, Shweta, you can go on.
Okay, what I wanted to ask now slipped my head. That is what I want to ask, whether they want a total waiver or they want it to be just like what the previous parent had said, Chitra had said.
Correct,
that she wants it
correct.
to be 2 months time she wanted. So
now
also what I want to know from Mrs. Kalyani is that there are no exams, 12th board exams கிடையாது இந்த வருஷம். அப்போ கட்டாயம் உங்க பொண்ணு பாஸ் தான் ஆக போறா. அதனால இதுல உங்க 12th ஸ்டாண்டர்ட் தானே உங்க பொண்ணு? 12th ஸ்டாண்டர்ட் போறா?
இல்ல, இப்ப 12th போறா மேடம், 12th போறா. 12th போறா.
ஓ சரி.
ஓகே. கல்யாணி மேம், நீங்க சொல்ற இதுல your daughter is a very good student. அப்புறம் ஸ்கூல்ல ஏதாரோ ஆஃபர் பண்ணிருக்காங்களா உங்களுக்கு ஸ்காலர்ஷிப் ஏதாரோ முன்னாடி?
இல்ல மேடம், நாங்க அதை எடுத்தது இல்ல மேம், இது வரைக்கும் நாங்களும் கேட்டது இல்லை. ஏன்னா இந்த நிலைமை எங்களுக்கு வந்தது இல்லை. நாங்க ஃபீஸ கட்டிடுவோம், எங்களால முடிஞ்சது ஃபீஸ கட்டிட்டோம். அப்ப எங்களுக்கு அது ப்ராப்ளம். நல்லா ஹோட்டல் போச்சு, காசு இருந்தது, கட்டிட்டோம். இப்போ காசு இல்ல, எங்களால முடியல, அதனாலதான் மேடம் கேக்குறோம்.
சோ அவங்க த்ரூ அவுட் டாப்பராயே இருந்தாங்க?
ஆமா, த்ரூ அவுட் டாப்பர் மேடம். நீங்க பிரின்சிபல் மேடம் கேட்டு பாருங்க, பிரின்சிபல் மேடத்துக்கு தெரியும் அவங்கள. த்ரூ அவுட் டாப்பர், ஃபர்ஸ்ட் தான் வருவா, எல்லாத்துலயுமே ஃபர்ஸ்ட் தான் வருவா.
ஓகே, thank you கல்யாணி மேம்.
ரொம்ப நன்றி மேடம்.
Thank you, welcome. இன்னொரு நாள் சந்திப்போம் நம்ம. See you again. We'll just talk to the principal and we'll meet you once again. Okay? Bye.
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 So let us discuss now, Mr. Rai and I.
Yes.
Can you please put us in a breakout room, whoever's host? We don't want the rest of you to hear us.
Who is the host now? Nandini?
Nandini is there?
Nandini is...
I wish I made you the host. You should have made one of us the host, I think.
Let's see if we can make a breakout room. Elala?
We can't, because only the host can do it. Let me call Nandini now.
It's okay. Let them close their ears and we both will talk.
Yeah.
So from the three discussions that we have heard, the principal says, one, she said they have given some scholarships and some waivers. Okay, that was one thing that she said. Another thing was that they have already reduced the fees by 10,000. But that point I want to make note is that she said some scholarships and benefits like phone and all that are available. So that is one point I wanted to emphasize. And from what Ms. Chitra said, she is not asking for a waiver. She is asking for a extension. Yeah. And to be able to pay in installments. While Kalyani wants a scholarship.
Total waiver, yeah.
She wants, and because the child is a topper and the principal has said that there is a possibility. So I think we can ask her again about it. What do you say, Shweta?
Definitely. I think there is a possibility of mediation and a successful mediation here. So let us, I think we should meet all of them together now.
I think all of them together will be a good idea so that they can actually speak face to face and we will know what each one is saying.
Yeah,
correct.
We can first discuss it with them. We can just give a maybe synopsis to the principal about what the parents' issue is and the principal's issue to the parents. And then maybe after that we can ask.
I think before telling them each other's issues, as long as we know, they have already discussed. So now let us call them all together so that, we know what they are saying.
I know.
Correct?
Yes. We are going to talk to all of them together.
Yeah.
We already know what are the issues faced by each party, but we need to tell them, right? That they.
No, I don't think there is a need to tell them, Shweta.
No need?
Okay. I don't think there's a need to tell them because they have already been in discussion. So now again telling that one that this one has said this and this one that one has said that may not be, I don't feel it may be, but what do you think?
But the principal doesn't exactly know what it is that this particular.
No, they have been speaking. Now this is the version that they have given us. Now when they're all together, let us see what they say to each other.
Okay,
whether they all stick to their same points or not, that will give us more clarity is what I feel.
Sure. We'll go with that.
Okay.
So the principal, parents are all welcome to join us back, please. Hello, Mrs. Shastri. Oh, sorry. Hello, Mrs.
Good morning. Good morning, Ms. Acharya.
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Rai and Shweta. How are you?
All fine.
We are doing good. Thank you. Good. Hope everything is okay with you too.
We're just trying our best. Let's see how this pandemic goes.
Yes.
So we're hoping for the best.
We are waiting for the parents also to come back.
Okay.
So I think we will have a combined meeting with the parents and with you so that we can see how we can take this forward.
Okay. Oh, that's Chitra.
Yeah, Ms. Chitra. Good evening.
Yeah.
Mrs. Kalyani Muktupandi, would you like to join us, please?
Oh, Kalyani.
Vanakkam, madam.
Vanakkam. So we have been listening to all of you separately. We thought if we can have all of you discuss this together, we will listen in and we will see how we can take this forward.
Okay. I met them earlier, so I know Chitra and Kalyani very well. The children, Meenakshi is an excellent, student. She's a brilliant student. And even Chitra's, one in 8th and 9th, yeah, they're doing well. So, yeah, I know them. I met them earlier, so.
Okay.
Thank you, Mrs. Acharya. See, what we learned from them was, I don't know if you've discussed this with Mrs. Chitra and Mrs. Kalyani. Now, this is what we understood from them. Mrs. Chitra, as we all know, all of us are going through this difficult period of pandemic. During the first lockdown, she said that her husband actually had a very good clientele. He's a driver, as I'm sure you're aware. And he was making enough money. They were very happy paying the fees. They had their house close to the school. And I'm sure all of these details you already know. and they were able to manage, they were able to pay the fees. And she tells us that she's already paid 50% of the school annual fee. And she says 50% is yet to be paid. They're not able to pay it right now because though the lockdown has been lifted up, the driver, he is getting clients to come back, but the process is very slow. In the meantime, they had to shift house. They were not able to get their payment back from the landlord, their advance. They've gone to a smaller house far away to the suburbs. So all these major upheavals have happened in their lives, and a lot of money has been lost in between. So I don't know if she's discussed all these details with you, but the thing is that what she's only requesting now is that she wants 2 months of time period, an extension. And she says by that time they should be hopefully back financially, they should be fit well enough for them to pay you the remainder within say 2 months. This is the time extension she's requesting you. So we were wondering whether you could consider this favorably.
Mr. Rai and Shweta, I have had many parents coming and asking me for this. Okay. So as a school, we, like to take the fees upfront, like all the schools, so that we know these are the number of students, and now is the admission time. Okay. So we want the parents also to think through, because the fees has to be paid. So whether they need to take a call about payment of the fee. We don't want to lose good students, definitely not. We have tried to help as much as we can, but there is a limit. We have our own expenses. So we can only accommodate that many. So beyond that, it's just not possible. So it's like we are asking them to take a call whether they want to continue in my school or they can switch. But we will miss the good students. We don't want to lose good students. That's also there. But yeah, it's a call they need to take.
But Mrs. Acharya, I can understand from your viewpoint, but do you think it's fair on the parent to ask them to take their children out right now?
We are not asking them. We are not asking them to, change schools or anything. It's just that we are asking them to take stock of their situation. See, this is pandemic. Nobody expected thing like this. Everybody has to make changes in their, working style, lifestyle, everything. So schools also, now we are also trying to see how best we can accommodate. We don't want to lose good students. We have had good, Chitra has been a very good parent, and she comes for all the children this thing, and they have paid fees till now. I have no issues, but I have had parents like her coming to me, so I'm telling each and every parent, please think. We don't know how long this pandemic is going to last. Okay, so it's a time for all of us to think how we want to manage our finances, because as a principal, I can tell about my issues. Okay, I can tell how we are trying to still be inclusive and try to help out the students. But then a lot of changes are happening, so it's a call parent has to take, basically.
To understand, it is very difficult for you, and
this is the admission time. You must understand, this is the time when admissions are open for everyone, and as schools we are also looking for new admissions. So this is the time to take a call. So that's all we are trying to tell.
I understand that is very difficult for you.
I need one clarification on this, Mr. Rai. I hope you don't mind me asking this question, but Mrs. Acharya, according to the parent Chitra Govind, she said that she has paid 50% of the annual fee. Now, when you're talking about annual fee, you're talking about the academic year, right?
Yes.
And that is for which academic year? When then now you're starting admission?
Yes, this year 21-22 is what we collect in this month, so that we know the number of students we have given them options earlier. Normally we give the options of taking a child to another school around the month of March, but now we are extended it. We are allowing even in this month and next month also. But yes, this is the fee time, and we have given enough time for people to pay the fees. It's still open, and yes, she has paid part fees.
Okay, so since she
has paid part fees.
So 50% she has paid now. So do you think it's possible for you to consider giving her that 2-month extension, considering the fact that she has paid 50%, which means at least one term would have been covered by the 50%?
See, normally we the parents who have earlier, who are unable to pay, they are, we have fixed parents to whom we have given, the payment has to be made in the beginning and some pay after 6 months. So we give them 2 installments. Now, Chitra, one of the parents who has always paid upfront in the beginning of the year. Okay. So we have such parents who we know that we get the, money at the beginning of the year. So now suddenly, we have, along with Chitra, there are, many other parents asking like this. So we are in a fix, because we also go as per our, inflow of money, cash. So we know, okay, this much will come, these parents will give this much, and then we have our own expenses list and we work accordingly. So now, people like her coming in asking for extension, it's becoming very difficult. On top of it, we have given them, 10,000 discount. It's not like we have increased the fees, or, we are being harsh about it. No. But then, now again asking for more time is something, it is very difficult as a school to give at this point of time, given the pandemic. Maybe if the pandemic was not there, it was fine, because we know the flow and, the thing, how it was going. 1 or 2 parents, accommodation is not an issue. But there are many parents like that now. So that is why, like I said, this is the beginning of the year, of academic year. So everybody needs to, take stock of themselves, and we don't want to lose good students. We'll definitely help out good students. So I don't know. I mean, giving extension, I'm not sure, because the management has told very clearly that you need to take the way it was and let the parents take a call. So I have had many parents like her. So I have spoken to the management about this. So it's like I said, it's very difficult to, give too much extension. It's tough for us.
So one clarification I wanted, Mrs. Acharya. You said there are many parents like Mrs. Chitra Govind
Yes.
who have been asking for extension. So
Yes.
do I understand that all of them, or most of them, have paid the first 50,000, at least 50% of the fee? Have they all paid?
Not all. Some have, some haven't.
So I think perhaps I can only suggest to you, perhaps the ones who are paid, like Mrs. Chitra Govind, you yourself said that she's been paying regularly, well in advance for the entire year. Perhaps you could consider cases like hers, where you can give possibly an extension for 2 months. She's not asking you for a waiver, nor is she asking for a 6-month extension. As far as I can see, she's not being unreasonable. She's only asking you for
No, see, even the government has asked us to do that. See, the government also says, give some time. So accordingly, we are accommodating such parents who can, give within that stipulated time period. But beyond that, we can't.
So 2 months extension, I think, is not unreasonable. Do you agree, Mrs. Acharya? Do you think you could?
2 months should be fine. It should not be an issue. 2 months,
Okay,
because
so
the government also says that within 2 months, if the rest of the fees is paid, it's fine.
So Mrs.
Chitra, would you want to? Yeah.
Mrs. Chitra Govind, are you fine with that? Will you be able to pay now within?
Would you want to say something too?
But
Yeah,
I don't want people, coming back again after a month, because
Yes.
I don't know how this lockdown is going to go, right? So again, after a month, again asking for 2 months extension, it is not possible, because we are in the beginning of the academic year and the government says that we should give them 2 months time. So we are allowing, I mean, wherever it is this thing we are doing. But after 1 month, again they come back and says, that's why I'm telling you, this is the time to take stock of your this thing, whether you want to continue in this school or another school, depending on, everybody is going through so many changes, so many difficulties in life. So 2 months is not an issue.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Acharya. So Mrs. Chitra Govind, you're present here. Are you okay with this?
we definitely want to continue in the same school because we are quite happy studying here for such a long time. And the principal has been very nice to us always. But considering, I mean, if the situation gets from bad to worse, suddenly the lockdown commences, then again we will get stuck. Right now, if it continues like this, we will definitely be in a position to give back, I mean, whatever is pending within the stipulated time. If it happens again, then we have no other choice but to again borrow from some of our friends and somehow pay the money, which is very difficult because already we have borrowed enough.
So are you giving a guarantee then, Mrs. Chitra, that you will, after 2 months, you will pay the fees?
You would somehow make the payment.
Okay. So are you happy with that, Mrs. Acharya?
No, see, that's what I want, parents like Mrs. Chitra to think. You are adding to your burden. You're adding to your burden. And then, you come to us asking for help. See, we also have a limitation. So what I'm saying is, if they come back again after a month or two, and there are no admissions anywhere out, and if we are forced to make a decision, it will be hard. The child will lose an academic year, which we don't want. Our students are precious to us. We don't want children to lose an academic year on account of this pandemic in any which way. So that's the reason why I thought, as mediators, you should make them understand how that point of view, because now is the right time to take that choice. Now is the time when you have admissions open. Now is the time you can take stock. You have already experienced 1 year of this pandemic. We don't know which way it's going to go. Yes, things are improving. Hopefully they'll improve. But I mean, it's a call that everybody has to take. So I, as a principal, can do only that much.
Yes, Mrs. Acharya, I understood.
very
I understand
true.
that completely.
Completely.
The thing is, you've already taken 50% of the school fee, right? You've taken 50%.
No, see, we are willing
No.
to reimburse the money back.
Okay.
That's not an issue, because this is the time we'll also get admissions.
Okay.
So we can, collect the fees from the students who are parents who are willing to, are able to pay. I'm not being harsh by saying this, but that's the reality. That's how the schools function. We need any new student, we do take fees in advance. And for new students, we don't give any 2 months of concession or anything. But then as parents, they need to take a call. See, we love those. I know Chitra's children, they are really good. One child is really good in sports. I don't want to miss such good students, because our school, after all, is what students do. I mean, it's the students who bring the name, and we are proud. Even Meenakshi is a very good student. But then, as a principal, as a mentor, I need to give them this advice. But when I say that, I come across as a very harsh person who is not speaking favorably towards the parents. But unfortunately, that's the reality. I mean, I have to show them the mirror. This is how it's going to be. So
I would like to speak to Mrs. Chitra in the middle of this. Ms. Chitra, do you agree with what the principal is saying? Because there is a lot of facility that they have to provide. What she says is there are the teachers who need to take their salaries home, and unless they get their salaries, they're not going to be working. And there's a lot of infrastructure that they need to build towards these online classes. Do you understand that point of view too?
Yes, I have understood it, because I mean, during this pandemic, everybody is going through a tough time in different ways. If we had the money, definitely we would have made the payment immediately. But considering, since nobody is calling and we have our own issues and we don't have much of savings, we had no choice but to ask the principal whether she can give us some more time. That's all.
But what she's saying now is very firm.
Yes.
So are you prepared to give it a thought and take a call on whether you can, or whichever way you want to go?
There is no choice right now for us, because our child wants to continue in the same school. We have no intention of moving our child elsewhere. So since she's used to the school and it is close to our home, definitely we have to, talk to other people and find out how much people can contribute and how we can make the payment as quickly as possible.
Thank you, Mrs. Chitra. See now, Ms. Kalyani, you have been listening to this entire conversation, correct? You have you understood what the principal has been saying?
No, I haven't understood what she's been telling. ஏதோ சொல்றாங்க. எனக்கு
அவங்க என்ன சொல்றாங்க? School fees pay பண்ணாத இருந்தாலும் they cannot provide the facilities. They have to give the teachers salary அப்புறம் இந்த ஆன்லைன் கிளாஸஸ் பண்றதுக்கு செப்பரேட்டா ட்ரைனிங் கொடுக்கணும், ஒர்க் ஷாப் கொடுக்கணும், அதுக்கெல்லாம் செலவு ஆகுது. அண்ட் த ஸ்கூல் பில்டிங் ஹேஸ் டு பி மெயின்டைன்ட். எனிவே அந்த மெயின்டெனன்ஸ் இல்லாம விட முடியாது. ஸோ அதோட எக்ஸ்பென்ஸும் இருக்கும். அப்படி பிரின்சிபல் சொல்றாங்க. நீங்க எங்க கூட சொன்னது இன்னொரு வாட்டி பிரின்சிபலுக்கு சொல்ல முடியுமா? அந்த ஸ்காலர்ஷிப் பத்தி என்ன சொன்னிருந்தீங்க நீங்க?
அந்த என்னுடைய எங்க ஹஸ்பண்டோடைய ஃப்ரெண்டு சொன்னாரு, ஒரு ஏதோ ஆர்டிஇ ஏதோ இருக்குன்னு சொன்னாரு. அதுல வந்து இந்த மாதிரி நல்லா படிக்கிற 10% ஒரு ஸ்கூல்ல வந்து படிக்கிற பசங்கள்ல 10% ஆவது இந்த ஆர்டிஇ கொடுத்துருக்கணும், ஸ்கூல் வந்து கொடுக்கணும்னு சொன்னாரு. 10%ல கொடுக்கணும். அப்போ என் பொண்ணுக்கு வந்து இந்த இது கிடைக்கணும்னு சொல்லி இது பண்ணாரு. இல்லைன்னா மனு போடலாம், கவர்மெண்ட்டுக்கு மனு போட்டு வாங்கலாம்னு சொல்லியிருக்காரு. இது லாஸ்ட் 1 இயர் தான் மேடம். இது வந்து ஃபுல் வருஷம் நான் கேட்கல, கடைசியா 1 வருஷம் தான் கேட்கிறேன். ஸ்கூல் நல்லா இருக்கு மேடம். அவங்க வந்து வீட்டுல இருந்து கிளாஸ் நடத்துறாங்க, ஸ்கூலுக்கு வரதில்லை. டீச்சர்ஸ் எல்லாம் அவங்க சொல்றாங்க மேடம், எல்லாருக்குமே தான் கஷ்டம், எனக்கும் கஷ்டம் அவங்களுக்கும் கஷ்டம். பட் நான் வந்து உங்களுக்கு இன்னும் ஒரு 10 வருஷம் அங்க படிக்க போறேன்னா நான் கேட்கற தப்பு. கடைசி வருஷம் என் பொண்ணு வந்து டாப்பர், எல்லாத்துலயுமே டாப்பர். நாளைக்கு டாப்ல வந்து வந்தானா உங்க ஸ்கூலுக்கு தானே பேர் வரப்போகுது, உங்க ஸ்கூல் பேர் தானே அங்க வரப்போகுது. உங்க ஸ்கூலுக்கு இன்னும் நிறைய ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் வருவாங்க இல்லையா? அதெல்லாம் நீங்க கொஞ்சம் பார்த்து எனக்கு கொஞ்சம் ஹெல்ப் பண்ணலாம் இல்லையா? மேடம் பேசுனாங்க, ஆனா அவங்க பேசின குரல் தோரணல இருந்து அவங்க ரொம்ப ஃபர்மா பேசினாங்க, ஸ்ட்ரிக்டா பேசின மாதிரி இருந்தது. எனக்கு தோணுச்சு, நான் எங்க லைஃபையும் எங்களையும் பார்க்கணும் இல்லை மேடம், எங்களுக்கும் ரொம்ப கஷ்டம் தானே. டீச்சருக்கு எல்லாருமே ஃபுல்லா எல்லாம் அவங்க சேலரி எல்லாம் கொடுக்கறது இல்லைன்னு டீச்சருங்க சொல்லிட்டு இருந்தாங்க. அவங்களும் ஏதோ ஒரு 50% 75% தான் மேடம் கொடுக்குறாங்க. இத்தனை நாள் ஸ்டூடெண்ட் டீச்சர்ஸ் ஸ்கூல் எல்லாம் நல்ல லாபம் பண்ணாங்க இல்லையா? இப்போ இந்த வருஷம் அவங்களுக்கும் கஷ்டம், எங்களுக்கும் கஷ்டம். எங்களுக்கு கொஞ்சம் பாருங்க, ஏதாவது ஹெல்ப் பண்ணுங்க தானே மேடம் கேக்குறோம் நாங்க.
ஓகே மிஸ்ஸஸ் கல்யாணி, தேங்க்யூ. மிஸ்ஸஸ் ஆச்சாரியா,
1 minute. Can I talk to Mrs. Kalyani?
Yes.
Kalyani, எப்படி இருக்கீங்களா?
நல்லா இருக்கேன் மேடம்.
Sorry, எனக்கு Tamil I don't know so well. So I'll how's Meenakshi?
மீனாட்சி நல்லா இருக்கா மேடம். உங்க புண்ணியத்துல நல்லா படிச்சு நல்ல மார்க் வாங்குறா. உங்களுக்கு தெரியும் இல்ல மேடம், உங்க ஃபேவரட் தான மீனாட்சி.
She's a very good student. We are proud of Meenakshi. So yes, I know, I understand you had a tough time. I'm very sorry for your loss. I heard your father-in-law is no more. I'm sorry about that. But yes, and how is the business picking up? The business
இல்ல மேடம், அவள போகல மேடம். பிசினஸ் தெரியும் இல்லையா உங்களுக்கு? உங்களுக்கு எங்க வீட்டுக்கார பத்தி தெரியும். எங்கயோ அங்க இருந்து இங்க நாங்க பொழைக்க வந்தோம். நல்லா போயிட்டு இருந்தது, இது வரைக்கும் நல்லா போச்சு. போனப்ப பிரச்சனை இல்ல மேடம். இப்ப ஏதோ எங்களால வந்து இருக்கிற நிலைமையில அது ஏதோ சொல்றாங்க, போன்ல புக் பண்றது, ஆர்டர் எடுக்கிறது, குடுக்கறதுன்றாங்க. அதெல்லாம் நமக்கு தெரியாது, நமக்கு வராது. சோ வர்றவங்களுக்கு சமைச்சு
you also learn. Ask Meenakshi to teach you. Meenakshi is a very good student. She can teach her father and mother.
நம்ம கத்துக்கணும் மேடம். பட் இந்த வருஷம் எங்க மேடம், இப்ப எங்க மாமனாருக்கே ரொம்ப காசு செலவு பண்ணிட்டோம். ஹாஸ்பிட்டல்ல லட்சக்கணக்குல வாங்கிட்டாங்க, கடனை வாங்கி உடனே வாங்கி ஏதோ பண்ணியாச்சு. இனி வந்து இது ஒரு சின்ன அமௌண்ட் தான் மேடம் நாங்க கேக்குறது. எங்களுக்கு புரியுது, இது ஒரு சின்ன அமௌண்ட் தான், பெரிய அமௌண்ட் இல்ல. ஆனா எங்க இருக்கிற நிலைமை வந்து ரொம்ப மோசமான நிலைமையில நாங்க இருக்கோம். இன்னைக்கு அந்த சின்ன அமௌண்ட்டே எங்களுக்கு பெரிய அமௌண்டா தெரியுது. ஒரு காலத்துல பெரிய அமௌண்ட் எல்லாமே பண்ணோம், அது அப்ப தெரியல. இப்போ ரொம்ப எங்களை ரொம்ப கஷ்டமா இருக்கு மேடம்.
கல்யாணி, only 1 more year for Meenakshi. This is
அதுதான் மேடம் நாங்களும் சொல்றோம், ஒரே ஒரு வருஷம் தான் மேடம். இத்தனை வருஷம் ஹெல்ப் கேட்கலையா மேடம்?
And I don't want to lose Meenakshi. She's a very good student. Okay, I know that, and I know her aspirations for IAS. She always she reads up so much. And I would suggest that you include her in your business ideas, because she is very good and she can bring you up to date with getting orders and all, and she will make you pick up business pretty fast. You must include her. So I don't see that as a very big issue. She can help her parents to
படிக்கிற பொண்ணு எங்க மேம் அதுல வந்து இழுக்கிறது. படிக்கிறது நாங்க காலையில ஆரம்பிக்கிறோம், நைட் வரைக்கும் ஓடுறோம். அது பண்ண அவ படிக்க முடியாது இல்லையா மேடம்? அவ வந்து நல்ல டாப் ரேங்க் வாங்கணும்னு பாக்குறா. ஸ்டேட்
Yes,
ஃபர்ஸ்ட் வரணும்னு பாக்குறா. அது வரணும்னா படிச்சாதானே மேடம் வர முடியும். படிக்கலனா எங்க மேடம்? இதுல வந்து அவங்க
yes.
அப்பா ஒத்துக்கவே மாட்டாரு. அவ இதுக்கெல்லாம் வந்தானா ஒத்துக்க மாட்டாரு. அவருக்கு ஒரு பொண்ணு
No,
படிக்கணும்,
I'm
நல்லா
not
படிக்கணும்.
asking her. Let her study, let her study. She's a good student. In fact, all our teachers, my staff, they are just hoping for the first rank from Meenakshi. We all are expecting very good results from her. So yes, she should study, but then she should be given a pandemic. It is her as a school. We like to give that to our students, that they should help the parents when really it requires. Yes, studies are important. You need to put in your effort to bring up your family also. These are bad times. Unfortunately, the children don't have the luxury of like when they had earlier. They can just leave everything, go play or study, just focus on one thing. Now this pandemic has taught even the students how to do housework, how to help the parents in the house. So yes, I mean, academics are important. She has to help you in your business also, because it's a learning for her also, you see. So, and that makes her a better person. And we are bringing the students are the next future society, so we want them to be good people in the society. So
Mrs.
yes, she
Acharya,
can help.
sorry, I need to
Sorry.
come in here because we may run out of time. I think we both Shweta and I were also thinking very specifically about her request for scholarship and how the RT Act says
Yeah,
that 10%.
actually, actually her fees is not what what the other students pay. She's she comes under that RTE. When she joined the school itself, she joined under the RTE scheme. So
Yes, but now, considering that she's a
totally
topper,
different. Her fee structure is totally different. So I mean, she has been paying fees. I mean, we have not I will not say that she's a scholar student throughout the academic years, the previous years, but yes, her fees is pretty less compared to what Chitra's children are paying. Meenakshi's fees are pretty less. So in that also, if she asks for a complete waiver, I'm sorry, complete waiver is not possible. And this year, because of the pandemic, even the the number of scholarships have come down. We are unable to give the same number of students the same amount of scholarships also have come down. Unfortunate. We are just hoping that the economy picks up and we are all back to the way things were, and we can give more scholarship to the deserving students. But a complete waiver of fee is just not possible.
Not even when you are expecting a rank from her and when she has been a topper, because they are it looks like they are genuinely finding it very difficult to pay the fees.
Yes,
it will definitely not be possible for you, is it?
See, that's what I said. This pandemic, I feel very sad to say this, but many parents have come with this issue of losing jobs, lost the business. They are I understand because as a principal of the school, even I am facing the same issue. Even I am at a loss. But how much loss can I take? It's a matter of that. So that's why, because the beginning of the academic session, so that's why we are talking to all the parents and make them understand, and we understand how to go forward from here.
Correct.
So
Mrs. Acharya, is there any possibility of you meeting maybe some of the parents who are not really facing much issues with the pandemic, people who are very wealthy or well-to-do? Perhaps you could have a meeting with them, and maybe some of them could perhaps help Mrs. Kalyani towards paying her child's fees, and maybe once the situation improves, you could perhaps extend her a waiver once the scholarships are reinstated. Do you think you could consider that?
See, I can ask, but then Mrs. Kalyani didn't come up to me to ask, if she's always been asking me about waiving the fees, complete waiver of fees, which is not possible. I can already, it's a reduced fees, and we are giving 2 months time, extra time also. So, and I fully sympathize with her for the loss on the family and the business. And, you know, it breaks my heart to hear such stories. And I can ask, but then I cannot guarantee. You know, I need to check with the management also.
Yes.
And it's not in my place to, you know, give a guarantee right now.
No, no, as a representative of the school, I mean, you're the
Yes.
principal after all, you're allowed to take
Yes,
the
yes,
decision.
yes.
Perhaps
yes,
you could ask Mr. and Mrs. Shastri, you could take them into your confidence. and
Definitely, I can ask them. Sure,
Yes,
I can ask them, but it as a personal in a personal capacity, I do feel for them. But then when I'm talking to the management, I need to check.
Yes.
So I need to get back to them.
And perhaps Mrs. Acharya, you could perhaps tell Mrs. Kalyani this, she's right here. And we can tell her that, you know, you're trying your best, and maybe in a few days time, after all, Meenakshi is the topper, and you wouldn't want to lose such a good student. And like Mrs.
Yes,
Kalyani,
actually, our teachers are putting in extra effort for Kalyani. You will not believe, because we also know, you know, the student who is putting in effort and who is, you know, trying the best, because she has the drive in her. And our teachers are trying their best to help her to, you know, give her more this thing to study, and all those things they are doing. So I don't know about the money part. I can check and I can get back.
okay, perhaps even she could be extended a loan of some kind, you know, where she can repay in smaller installments.
I
Perhaps
can
you could
check on
consider
that.
Yeah,
I can check on that as a special case, mind you, because there are many parents like that. So I like I have said again and again, we cannot accommodate everybody. But yes, as a, I mean, I can check if she can pay in a larger installments. Maybe I can try that. You know, give more installments to her, because this is also her final year. We don't want her to go to a new place and new you know, environment, because she's very set and very good here.
Yeah, and also
so we can consider that, but a complete waiver is not possible. We
Yes,
can give,
Okay, but you can you can definitely think about the scholarship part.
or
Because
we
the
can
word
give
scholarship
more, I mean, you
and
know,
the word
monthly
waiver.
No,
when-
she can probably pay the fees monthly, you know, we can,
No,
instead of paying these two installments.
we are thinking of how the word waiver versus the word scholarship will resonate with the management. Okay, because you said you will have to convince the management. So
Yes.
if you can assure her that you will put the word scholarship in the place of the word waiver and approach the management, I think that would give her a lot of solace.
I can try, but I cannot guarantee, because the giving scholarships is not in my hand. You know, there is a whole process behind.
Correct.
It's not just, you know, I tell that this, I know all, if you ask me, all my students are deserving of scholarship. They're excellent students. You know, they really put in all the hard work, and Meenakshi is a gem. But it's not in my hand completely. So I can, you know, put in a word and see, but then it's up to them. I cannot.
We understand that. I just want to tell Kalyani, உங்களுக்கு இப்ப புரிஞ்சதா? Did you understand? You have நீங்க இதுக்கு முன்னாடி பிரின்சிபல் கூட பேசும்போது you have not asked her for scholarship. நீங்க அந்த வேர்டு ஃபர்ஸ்டே சொன்னிருக்கணும். அப்போ அவங்களுக்கு அப்ரோச் பண்றது கொஞ்சம் ஈஸியா இருந்து it would have been easier. இப்ப நீங்க ஸ்காலர்ஷிப் இப்ப சொன்னதுக்கு she will be able to talk to the principal, but she cannot give you assurance. அது ஓகேவா? At least அதை ட்ரை பண்ணுவாங்க.
மேடம் ட்ரை பண்ணட்டும். பட் மேடம் வந்து எங்களுக்கு முதல்ல இருந்து கம்மி ஃபீஸ் நாங்க கம்மி ஃபீஸ் கட்டலையே மேடம். நாங்க முதல்ல இருந்து நாங்க நல்லா இதுலதான் இருந்தோம். நாங்க ஃபுல் ஃபீஸ் தான் கட்டிட்டு வரோம். நாங்க இது வரைக்கும் கம்மி ஃபீஸ்ல நாங்க இருந்தது இல்லையே. ஏன்னா எங்களுக்கு இப்பதானே கஷ்டம் வந்தது. எங்களுக்கு இப்ப இந்த பேண்டமிக்ல தான் மேடம் கஷ்டம் வந்தது. நாங்க முதல்ல இருந்து நல்ல ஃபீஸ் கட்டிட்டு, அவங்க என்ன ஃபீஸ் சொன்னாங்களோ அந்த ஃபீஸை நாங்க கட்டிட்டு தான் இருந்தோம்.
எஸ், பட் she was
சொன்ன மாதிரி நீங்க ஸ்காலர்ஷிப்னு இப்ப நான் ஓகே, அந்த வேர்டு வந்து எனக்கு இங்கிலீஷ் அவ்வளவா தெரியாது மேடம். நான் வந்து சொல்லிருந்தேன்
கல்யாணி மீனாட்சி ஃபீஸ் எப்பவுமே கடுமைதான் இருந்தது. Okay, because she was a topper in the class, we always give concession to the toppers. So compared to other students, her fees was always less.
Mrs. Acharya, I don't think that was
So,
clear to Kalyani earlier.
ஆமா அது எனக்கு
I
தெரியாத
don't
மேடம்
think she
இத்தனை
didn't
வருஷம்
have,
எனக்கு
she had
தெரியாதே
clarity on that.
yes,
எனக்கு
of all the toppers in the class have been getting every year, whoever tops, we give them some concession in the fees for the next year. It's like an encouragement for our students to do better next year.
It's
பட்
nice
மேடம்
as a
அது
school
எனக்கு தெரியாத
policy.
மேடம் எனக்கு அது இது வரைக்கும் எனக்கு தெரியாதே நாங்க நீங்க குடுக்குற ஃபீஸ் எல்லாம் நாங்க அப்படியே கட்டிக்கிட்டு இருக்கோம் நீங்க
Yeah,
சொல்றீங்க
whatever
நாங்க
we
ஃபுல்லா
help her,
கட்டுறோம்
she has paid. See, from that
Yeah.
part I
ஆமா மேடம்
understand, but maybe she's not aware that what other students are paying is much more than what Meenakshi has been paying.
Maybe having that clarity, having giving her the clarity earlier would have kind of made her feel a little better. If she
See,
had
that is
known that she
something
was already paying lesser,
Meenakshi knew that her fees was always less, okay, and all the toppers in our school, everybody tries to be the topper because they get all these, you know, less fee, and yes, it is a pride, you know, that they have topped in the class. So I mean, okay, maybe Mrs. Kalyani didn't know about it, but that's fine. And like I said, I will talk to the management, but there cannot be a complete fee waiver. See, because last year also she has stopped and her fee is comparatively less to the other students. So if she can pay us that fees in installments, you know, that will be really nice.
Okay, Mrs.
And given the kind of effort we are also putting in for her daughter Meenakshi, because we know she's a very good student. You know, she can come state top. There are a few students like her. So all those students we are trying to encourage.
Okay, so
Let's stop here.
yeah, we can stop.
So how do you think this went on?
One thing I felt was the school was very unrelenting. They were not ready to budge anywhere. They were not ready to cut slack anywhere. They wanted their piece of cake. Come what may, they were really
with the icing.
autocratic over there. It's just not okay. It's just
Actually,
inhuman actually.
I wanted to ask Mrs. Acharya one question. First, you said RT. She was always under RT, and RT means much less compared to what toppers get. So I was going to catch you on that. Then by the time RT came, she said, "Let us stop here." I was about to ask you, and I don't like interrupting when somebody's talking, you know. So I just kept quiet, waiting for you to stop. And before I could do that, before I could jump on you, RT came in. So I think that would have caught you in a fix. Because when I said RT, and there's a difference between toppers, and what are the kind of toppers? Are they wealthy people also, and there are poor people? Then I think you should give more concession to poor people. That is what I was going to bring in. But then we stopped here. So I think right now, I don't know if the mediation worked. I think for a large extent for Chitra Govind it worked, because you agreed that 2 months extension you will give, and she guaranteed that whether
Chitra Govind was very
because whether her husband gets back his business or not, she was prepared to take a loan and continue because she's very happy with the school. And I think Mrs. Acharya, as a principal, you should not jump in and say, you know, you have to take a call. You should not get more into debt. That is not your problem. Paying the fees.
That I don't think as mediators we can
No,
tell her.
as a principal, I had spoken to them earlier. See, those failed. That's why I came to you. So I was trying to emphasize on that. So
yeah.
And what are the other issues other than fees?
It was mainly the fees.
It was
only the fees was an issue, no? Because they were all facing their own individual problems. Because of
other than fees, there wasn't an issue.
Pandemic.
No, that's okay. But see, is there any way in which the parents could make do of the fees amount in some other way?
There were suggestions for that.
Yeah, because that was something which, see, here the power shift is very much in, you know, a lot of questioning happened to the principal. Okay, so it was kind of tilted kind of a thing. The kind of clarifying and all that. So more with Chitra Govind, the principal dealt one-on-one directly. So the issues were kind of settled, because, thinking over the stand is very important, which they have settled amongst themselves, the parent and the principal. But in the case of Kalyani Muthupandi, we cannot, we have to be neutral. We cannot ask the principal, she is a good student, give scholarship, all that. We cannot argue for the parent. Cannot.
Yes.
That is important. We have to make, the kind of questioning and asking wherein, in fact, the direction was, there was some kind of clarifying and questioning about that Kalyani is facing in running the hotel. Not only fees payment, she is facing issues, scope for addressing that issue, because that will bring in business. And there is also, this girl is so talented. This principal has mentioned that they are doing a lot of lesson plans and computer homeworks and computer training, all such things. Other than the salaries and facilities, lot of infrastructure development is being taking place in the school. Not only the financial aspects, is there anything which the parents can contribute in some other way, in their own way? For instance, they have their own eating place. Maybe they can help out with the cooking.
As Patty suggested in the cooking,
something
snack.
like that.
But where is the need for it, ma'am? It's a lockdown, so teachers don't come. It's a lockdown. Teachers don't come to school.
Okay, leave that. Whoever has come, leave the canteen part. Then the computer savviness, homework, designing of work, all those things. If the school also, it will be a great contribution to infrastructure. That is one thing. Second is the issue of the mother facing online inability to take orders online. This is another thing. Then, of course, the fees. Fees we have gone at length. So these are 3-4 things. Then taxes, extracurricular activities, all these things, already reduced fees, all these are dealt in detail. But these are also issues that you should be the money part.
But that was the biggest issue, no, Bharti. And in fact, I was planning to ask Kalyani why she's not involving Meenakshi in helping her with the phone. But when before that somebody
no, money is very important. There's no two ways about it. But she is not able to make money because she doesn't know how to take the online orders. She doesn't know how to do the earning. So is there anything that we can do, like give ideas how to make her help earn that money?
Yeah, but the thing is, no, Bharti, I think Sandhya did mention that she said, why can't she help you? And then she said, no, my husband will not allow because she's supposed to focus on her studies. I think that's very
No. This is a very common area. In most of the cases, they see when they are coming to the school, they are asking for something. Okay. So a little bit of effort from their side also, it makes sense. This is what I feel.
Yeah, we can only suggest, no, Bharti, that person has to accept.
We can suggest. We
Yes,
can suggest.
Yeah, that is why even for Acharya, I was only suggesting. I didn't say you have to do. I said, could you try and do this? Could you speak to the management? Also for
Yeah,
Kalyani,
Mrs. Acharya, she has been solid and
Though I'm always on the other side of the fence, this time I said, okay, let me be the management and give that management talk.
But you did a very good job, Sandhya.
yeah, she did well.
Yeah, she did
But,
well.
she did well.
Because that's how they are in the
They
school
are
marriage.
like that.
They don't care.
Because they always make those common statements all the time, which I was trying to make common statement. Generally, everybody is like that, so that, you know, I'm not pinned for anything. So that was my...
No, it was good, but these are, other than the money, extension of time made a lot of sense. The timing and then explaining to the parent also it made sense. That's why,
that is why I asked if they come back after a month again and
the
then
parent will ask like that at the point of asking. Then later, 15 days, 1 month back, when they're not able to pay,
again
this issue comes.
That would have been a very good point to say.
No, but most parents, they don't play around in the school area, you know, because it's a matter of their children's education.
Exactly.
So most of them, somehow or the other, they cough it up.
No.
So
There
anyway,
are a lot of parents who don't pay. At least
so
in this
this
situation,
written
a lot of
agreement
parents.
part is important.
Yeah, because on both sides. On both sides.
Guiding, we can even say, see, Mrs. Acharya can also say, Mrs. Kalyani Muthupandi, I request her to meet the school counselor.
Okay.
This is one more aspect. Because it's not only about the fees, because the family issues, so many are there. The father-in-law not there, and telephone inability, and business going around, all that. Is there something where the school can help the child?
Yeah, counselor, that's a good one.
School counselor also, because she is not having that education to think in future.
Yes.
Because I've come across so many such people. Like, for instance, this is a very personal thing. We had a dhobi in front of our house. Okay, I don't know whether I'm going overboard. So we used to see him ironing in the vicinity. So one day I went and told him, why don't you? Your son, he doesn't, why don't you ask a little bit of help from your son? Because it so happened that because we were in that apartment complex, we used to pay the fees for the children because we could afford it, not for any other reason. So then the dhobi says, Amma, under no circumstances will I allow my son to do kind of work.
Yeah.
This is what the dhobi says. He's taking fees from us to pay in the school. He doesn't want his son to do the work. I felt it was unjust to the dhobi, not to me or anybody else. The few thousands, it came from the heart. But I felt, what's wrong in helping a father? There's nothing wrong.
So it's a mindset of the dhobi. He doesn't want his son to follow in his footsteps because he is not proud of his profession in the first place.
Exactly. It's a national mentality. It has to change at the national level. You can't tell one person to do that. But see, even the maids who come home, they don't want their children to help, even if they're sick.
No, it's the same with us also. No, we don't want our children to be. We want them to be better than us. So as we go higher, they also.
I don't know. This is what. So today, when I heard this, I don't want my daughter to do this work. It kind of rang the bell for me. So at that point, I have come across counselors, fortunately, who have, guided on such areas. So not me as a counselor, like my children's school counselors, they used to help the children in accepting these things, and not many schools are that fortunate, but this area of counseling for the parents also, not only the children, the parents.
Definitely. So
Very
parents
important.
actually, what I feel nowadays, whatever economic situation parents are in, whether they're well-to-do or poor, there is no dignity of labor. They think that the moment you start doing housework, it is, bad. Like even in fairy tales, they say, Cinderella has to do all the work. Why? It's a life skill. You should know all these things to do. So this is something that all parents should be told.
Many parents say it with pride. My child, toilet and all, they don't wash. If you don't wash your toilet, you have to start with washing the toilet.
No, they themselves will not do. The parents will not do, first of all.
Even if they do, they won't let the children do.
No, there's one thing. How many of us, we are in the privileged category wherein we are deciding? I am one amongst you. We had a charter timely schedules where everyone had to do our works according to time. But like how you have shared, I've come across so many women saying that because of this lockdown, I'm slogging like anything. Okay.
Sad, really sad.
Very true.
Very sad. So in this context, a school counselor counseling the mother and father also, telling the value of, dignity of labor, assisting the child in helping in the house. That makes sense.
Hey, Bharti, this counseling of parents will not work overnight. These things
It takes time.
It takes a long time because parents have got that mindset, and this has been being handed over from generation to generation.
Yeah.
Talk to anybody. Today, I am doing all of this because our parents used to do it, because role models, every single thing.
That's true. That's